Hey, it's me, MLB. Here's your Wednesday one-shot. This one is with our favourite short-circuiting Pikachu, Denki Kaminari, requested by Spicy Armadillo. This one-shot is set in the final year of UA, and in this alternate timeline, they aren't living in Heights Alliance and are allowed to go out and live life, hence why they can go clubbing. So, moving on, this is just a cute story with a protective Denki. Enjoy! This one's titled Girls Just Want to Have Fun. Denki Kaminari, ex-female listener. How cold is it? You asked with surprised annoyance as you cupped your mitted hands together in front of your mouth and blew hot air into them to warm them up. I was hoping it would be a little warmer so that us girls could have a sleepover and spend the night in the glass house out the back of the mansion, but I think it might still be too cold in there, even with all enclosed heater on, Momo commented from beside you as you headed for the gates of UA. All enclosed heater? You asked, rubbing your hands together to generate more heat. Yes, the glass house is lined with heating rods. You deadpanned. Of course it is, you added in a flat voice. Morning, ladies, the unmistakable smooth voice of a seasoned flirt greeted. You looked up to see Kaminari waiting for you both, just inside the school gates, and you grinned at him. Hey, Denk. I'll walk you in, he offered, falling in step beside you. You don't have to do that. We're fine, you replied. I know, he replied with a suave smile, pushing his hands deeper into his pockets and scrunching down into his thick scarf. But I thought I'd do it anyway. Well, thanks, but again, we don't need... Your sentence would have continued had Kaminari not jumped in front of you at that point and been absolutely flattened by a large snowdrift that had broken loose at the last second and toppled off the roof. You and Momo shrieked with surprise and stepped back while you called to the snowman in front of you. Bro, are you okay? You called as the snow settled on top of him, stepping forward again to help him out and managing to drag enough snow off the top to reveal his beanie-covered head. Thanks, he said, struggling to get his arms free and wipe some of the ice off his eyebrows and eyelashes. What happened? Looking from him up to the roof where the snow had fallen from. I had seen that lump of snow just hanging out up there and had a feeling it was going to fall at some point, but I didn't know when. You girls always come in early to class, so I've been walking with each of you to get you in here, so that, he grunted as he got his arms free and planted them down the snow around the middle to help lever his lower half out. Ugh! So that it didn't land on any of you. He pulled himself free and slid down the side of the snow mound on his stomach, very ungracefully. That's really sweet, you said with an awe look on your face. Thanks, Dank. Any time, he replied, getting up and dusting the snow off himself. But when I think about it, your quick thinking and your quirk would have saved both you and Momo, so wasn't much help. I know I can hold my own, but thank you, you said to him with a smile as you all walked around the snow mound and headed inside. Hey, so, he started, you girls got anything on tonight? Well, he looked at Momo. I'm not sure, Momo added. I don't think the sleepover would be good after all. You guys were going to have a sleepover? Kaminari asked with low-key offence. Was I going to be invited? No, you chuckled. We know what you're like, Denki. Hey, I'm not like what you think I'm like. I'm like the total opposite of whatever you're thinking. Yeah, that's true, you replied with a sly look in your eye. I was thinking of a gentleman who isn't always trying to sneak a peek up skirts or down tops. Yep, so I'm the... Hey, he whined while you giggled. Gotcha. Come on, he pouted as you entered the classroom with the other girls there. Hi Yin! Hi Momo! Achako bubbled brightly, bouncing over to give you both a hug. Good morning. Do I get one? Kaminari asked, eyes glued to her breasts as she smooshed them up against yours and then Momo's. No, Denki. Sit boy, you replied. While she was bouncing around, two guys from the support studies class stopped by at the open classroom door and looked in, smirking and chuckling to themselves as their eyes very obviously objectified all you girls in the class. Kaminari looked past you and saw them, and scowled openly. Hey, he called to the perving boys. Move on. We're just here to see the goods of Class 1A, one guy smirked. After all, that's all these hero girls are good for, looking at. Kaminari bristled and turned to face him. Says you two lowlifes from support studies Who weren't good enough to get into the hero course, he replied darkly. These girls have 5 times the intelligence of you both combined. You snorted at his quick comeback and the boys scowled but shut up and left, and you turned to him. Whoa, Denk, I didn't know you had that in you to say stuff like that, you commented. When it comes to you, I'll defend you guys to the death. No one speaks to my girls like that, misogynistic pigs, he replied. Do you even know what that word means, Ribbit? Suyu asked him. No, but whatever it is, that's what they are, he said with a little flustered look. Well, for that performance, you get a hug, you said with a smile, reaching out to drag him in for a snuggle. Hugs are good for mental health, he replied, relishing your warm embrace. Hey, so, wanna go clubbing tonight? Ochako whispered deviously, getting right back to it. It's Hagakure's idea. Her and Mina wanted to have some fun, and I think it will be great. It'll be freezing flippin' cold, that's what it will be, you replied. What do you expect me to go in, an Eskimo suit? No, the place is warm as anything. We can let our hair down a bit, she said excitedly. Does that mean I get to make you an outfit if you don't already have one, Yin? Momo gasped excitedly. I have just the thing too. It will really show off your body. You could feel the lusty excitement coming from Kaminari and glanced at him. Unsurprisingly, he had a look on his face like he'd just been given the most delicious thing in his whole life, and his eyes were nearly hanging out of his head. Snap out of it, you said to him, clicking your fingers in front of his face. Wipe that look off your face. I'll be your guard, he said immediately. I, Denki Kaminari, will come with you girls to the club and make sure no sleazy guys try and hit on you. Kaminari-kun? Ribbit? Suyu commented from behind Ochako. You're the only sleazy guy we're worried about. Come on, he wailed. I care about you guys, please? You thought for a moment, then came to his defense. Guys, he did walk all of us to the classroom this morning and protected us from those guys just then, you said. He didn't need to though, Ochako said. We could have walked ourselves and we could have said something to those guys. Did you know that there was a big snowdrift on the roof this morning and he was walking us to make sure it didn't fall on us, you added, pointing at Kaminari. They all gave you a surprised look and Momo jumped into the conversation to help. Yes, it's true. It fell as we were walking in, but Kaminari jumped in front of us and took the hit, she said. All eyes were on Kaminari and he grinned sheepishly. Okay, let's bring him. Yeah, he can come. Okay, Ribbit. Thanks again, Denk. And with that now decided, you all couldn't wait till that night. 8 p.m. rolled around and you were all in line outside the club waiting to get in. Momo had made you some very, very skimpy outfits with huge faux fur coats to wear over the top while you waited in line to get in where it was warmer, and Kaminari tottered around you all like a sheepdog guarding his flock. You warm enough, Yin? He asked as he sidled up to you. Yeah, this coat is awesome, you replied. Okay, just checking, he said with a smile. I'll go make sure the girls at the back are all good. And then off he walked to the back to check on Suyu and Hagakure. He's good guy underneath it all, you thought with a smile as you looked back at him. You didn't have to wait long to get in, as a few people ahead of you petered out and got out of the line, so you all moved up pretty quickly, and then you were in. It was pitch black inside, and the music was pumping. You led the way in, and in an instant Kaminari was beside you, pointing out places that you could all hang out that wasn't too crowded. Over there? You called to him, pointing to a back corner that was vacant. He nodded, then turned and put his hand up to get the other girls' attention, then pointed in the direction that you were about to head. Everyone understood and walked over. Give me your coats, babes, Kaminari called over the music. I'll hold them while you dance. Thanks, Denki, you all chorused, then went off to get some drinks from the bar while someone went to dance. Kaminari found a few chairs nearby and hung the coats over them to keep them from getting creased, then turned back around with his arms crossed across his chest and his keen eyes watching each and every one of you to make sure you were okay. You and Momo had a few sips of drink at the bar, then came back to him and he put his hand out to hold your drinks, cupping over the top of your glasses with his palms to make sure that no one could slip anything into the cups in case he wasn't watching. Then you went to dance. Kaminari's eyes caressed your frame as you moved. Momo had indeed made a very fitted dress on you, and he couldn't help but admire your body as your hips swung and wound around. Ugh, some other girl from nearby spat loudly. Look at this ratchet one. Kaminari looked over at her and saw she was talking to a friend of hers, with her eyes on you. Ew, the other commented. "Hey!" Kaminari called loudly, glaring at the first girl. "Lay off!" he added with a snarled look on his face. "It's her body. She can dress how she likes. And man, what a body," he added, going back to checking you out. The girls, seeing that he was cute, felt ashamed immediately and shut up, then slunk away while he kept watching you. A few times he had to step in and push out some overzealous male clubbers who thought you and Momo looked like optimum humping objects, but apart from that, the night went really smoothly. Kaminari got to flex his protective side, and you got a fun and safe night out. "Hey, thanks for walking me home," he said to Kaminari at 4 a.m. when you and the girls were all done with clubbing. He had systematically dropped you all off at your respective homes, and you were the last one to go. You looked across at him and grinned. "You look shot," he added. "I am," he replied with a yawn. "Crash at mine, dude. Don't go home. You'll end up falling asleep on a sidewalk somewhere and die." "Is that okay? I don't want you to feel uncomfortable with me being at your place," he said honestly. "It's fine, dude," you said genuinely. "I know how I am, but I know when to be a gentleman," he added with another yawn. "I know, bro, I know. You proved that tonight," you replied. "You girls work so hard, you need some downtime every now and again. Girls just want to have fun, right?" he said with a sleepy smile at you. "Right," you replied with a grin, wiping some snowflakes from his face as it started to fall slowly again. I hope that was an enjoyable one-shot. Who doesn't love a protective Denki? Stay tuned for next week's one-shot, a Shoto Todoroki ex-pregnant female listener. See you all then.